down. And if that meant the most powerful weapons, I absolutely believe that was their intention. I don't think that they were saying, hey, we should all be able to have a rifle in our house so we can protect ourselves and we can go shoot rabbits. They were saying if in the absolute extreme case where a government was trying to do what we just escaped, what we just came over here and started this new country for, then yes, we should be able to band together and fight back. Look at those ranchers in Texas. They got together and they fought back, and then they arrested them and they put them in jail. And then when things calm down, they drop the charges against them. There is a reason that those things are in place, and I firmly believe that if our forefathers knew that we were going to have the firepower that we had to actually be on point with the military. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the military wiped most of us out.
Right,
yeah, right. Yeah. And if there were no rules or anything, those Texas ranchers would have been bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Right. But the thing is that on a smaller scale,
right,
you should be able to defend yourself. And the fact that they were armed and they were able to congregate there and act as a militia made the government have to stop and say, okay, instead of arresting one guy, we now have a bunch of armed citizens to deal with who are armed by the Constitution. Mm-hmm. We have to deal with this a different way.
Not to get off on a totally different subject, but have you watched that show Waco? I
haven't watched it yet. No.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good, and man, do they make the ATF look bad.
Really?
Oh, they make it, I mean, I don't know all the facts or anything, but they make it like the ATF was just like, hey, let's go kill some people. We're going to get them. And it was like, we'll come out. It'll be totally fine. Nope, we're going to kill them. I mean, it really does a number on the ATF on that.
Jerry, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, Jerry?
Would anybody really object if a couple of congressmen or senators came together and actually, everybody keeps throwing around it's in the Constitution. Well, it's been amended 27 times, so it's not a perfect piece of paper. And
it was designed that way. It was designed to be able to change with the times. It's the best thing about it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But can't you put something along the lines like you were saying, what you have to go through to earn a driver's license?
You have to. You have to, and unfortunately, it'll take something like this for them to really say that you have to, because this is out of hand now, and we're not giving up any of our civil liberties to do that. We're just saying, hey, you're allowed to do it, but you're going to have to be a truly upstanding citizen in order to have this privilege.
Right, but I mean, we've had high schools, middle schools, elementary schools. I mean, until they shoot up a kindercare, is it going to take to do it?
Yeah, I don't think it's an age thing, but I get what you're saying. No, something needs to be done, and that's at this point now. All they can do is try and be. But the problem is coming up with a resolution. I mean, the resolution is not as easy as us just saying, "Hey, we should do this," and then everything's okay. Because now you get in there and this guy wants to do it, but then this party doesn't, and this party does, this party doesn't, and it's all the same jerking back and forth that we have to go through with everything.
But if you had legitimate standards that have to be met, do you really think the NRA would object to it?
The NRA is sometimes a little bit too extreme, and that is that. I mean, I know that gun guys don't want to hear that, but the NRA. I don't know. I don't know what they would do, but they seem to me, yes, it seems that they would object to it because they are so stuck on what they believe. But I don't know how in this situation how they can sit back now and say, hey, we don't want to do anything that's going to help.
Well, I'd say I would love to hear the objections if somebody came up with make a 28th Amendment to the Constitution. Don't make it a right, make it a privilege, the same as a driver's license that you have to earn. And if somebody objects to that, no, anybody should be able to buy any gun anytime they want, then you just lost the argument.
Yeah. All right. With that, and then find out who's against it and hold those specific people accountable for it. Appreciate the call, sir. Let me take one more call, and then we'll let Galvin do some news, and we'll move on a little bit. And by the way, if you are waiting for your concealed weapons permit, good luck getting it now. If you thought it took a while before, it's going to take months and months and months now. Let me talk to Jameson. Good morning, Jameson.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good, sir. What's happening?
I was just calling in to chime in on the conversation you guys are having. I think every time these mass shootings happen, this leftist ideology that tighter gun control, this, that, or the other is going to solve the problem, and nobody really wants to talk about the security at our schools. I mean, how many times do we hear of a shooting, a mass shooting, at one of our federal or state level courthouses?
That's true. You can't get anything. You can't get anything through it. You got to run it through a metal detector. But here's the thing: how old of a guy are you?
I'm 44.
Okay, so we're close in age. You didn't have any security in your school when you were a kid, did you?
No.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up right here in Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
So now I grew up in New York, went to a foo-foo Catholic private high school, and we didn't have security. We had an old guy named Chief who stood at the front door. He was about 85 and he had a limp.
But we say that, back in the old days, we didn't need that. We don't need that now.
Right, but I'm agreeing with you. We definitely do need it, but it's hard to imagine that our generation now is like, we got to put security in schools. I mean, that's only for the inner city troubled schools, and now that's why nobody's running to say, hey, we got to get this done. Plus, you have to understand there's going to be a tremendous expense that comes with it. You're talking about metal detectors, which are not cheap. You're talking about live paid security guards, or even worse, those slubs like TSA who are no more than high school dropouts over there with wands. And
it's a solution.
It is a solution, but the problem is where's the money going to come from?
Well, the same way it comes to provide it for the federal government and the courthouses.
Yeah.
Are their lives more important than our kids? No,
but those are privatized security folks who are hired, and that's budgeted and has been since they had courthouses. But look, I'm not saying it's not the right idea, but I'm telling you what the things are that people are going to argue against it with. They're going to say,
this is the thing. Bad people will get guns. We know that.
Yep.
Right? We know that even if he hadn't gone and bought that gun legally, he could have got it anywhere. So, he could have got in, he would have got in anywhere. I mean, the problem is tightening the security. You should not be able to just walk into a school like it's just
a school you don't even go to. A school you don't even go to. You should not school when that kid when you go to school and that bell rings and school cards, they lock those doors. It should be a fortress, and you should be at work not worrying at all about your kids.
100%.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir. That is a solution that needs to be worked on right away. I don't know. There's a lot of moving pieces there, but that is the first thing that they need to do is concentrate on the security of those schools. I appreciate your call, man. Let's check in. We'll take some more phone calls as the show goes on. Let's do some news.
And now, news with Galvin on the Mike Calta Show.
What else do we have in news today, Galvin?
Well, more of the shooting stuff. Police say an Uber dropped off Nicholas Cruz at his former high school around 2:19 p.m. on Wednesday.
Does he pay that Uber?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because it's on the app.
Yeah.
What if you took a taxi? Do you pay the taxi?
Probably, so he doesn't come running after you and cause
yeah, I guess so. Because you're like, I'm already going to jail or dying.
Within 10 minutes, authorities say he had gunned down 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and left campus undetected in a crowd of students. Now, as the 19-year-old gunman begins his journey through the criminal justice system, a community is mourning and investigators are looking for answers. Here's some of the things we found out. Broward Sheriff's deputies were called to the Cruz family home 39 times since 2010.
Jesus.
The shooter's former neighbor said Cruz pointed a BB gun at homes and did target practice in the neighborhood. Cruz had an Instagram account with posts that include photos of rifles and collection of firearms on his bed. The shooter legally purchased the firearm used in the shooting at a gun store in Coral Springs, Florida. Cruz confessed to the police to being the gunman, according to the probable cause affidavit. His public defender describes him as, quote, deeply disturbed, emotionally broken young man who is coming to grips with the pain he has caused.
Do you know where they found him?
Where they found...
He left the site.
Didn't he go to Subway and went to McDonald's?
Went to Subway and got a drink, and then went to McDonald's. I think this kid had no idea that he was going to be alive at the end of this. And I think now he's like, well, now I don't know what to do. I plan on being dead at this point.
It's possible.
Now I got to live with this. I got to see all this destruction. I got to hear all these crying parents. I don't think he ever planned on any of this.
Yeah. A woman who lost her daughter in the Florida school shooting begged and pleaded with Trump to do something about gun violence. We have some video on Bone TV, and here is the audio. Listen to this. Here we go.
How do we allow a gunman to come into our children's school? How do they get through security? What security is there? There's no metal detectors. the gunman, a crazy person, just walks right into the school, knocks down the window of my child's door, and starts shooting her, and killing her. President Trump, you say, what can you do? You can stop the guns from getting into these children's hands. Put metal detectors at every entrance to the schools. What can you do? You can do a lot. This is not fair to our families, that our children go to school and have to get killed. I just spent the last 2 hours putting the burial arrangements for my daughter's funeral, who's 14. President Trump, please do something. Do something. Action! We need it now. These kids need safety now.
I mean, that is clearly the thoughts and emotions of a woman who is going through an unimaginable time in her life. Never at 14 years old did she think that her daughter would be murdered when she shipped her off to school. Of course she wants answers, and she wants it now because her kid's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. This is interesting. A grandmother in Washington prevented a school shooting the day before the Florida shootings by reporting her own grandson to police. The kid had stockpiled weapons and written down detailed plans in a journal, and even robbed a convenience store to bankroll his attack. His name is Joshua Connor, and he's being held on a $5 million bail in charges that include attempted murder.
Wow, good for you, Granny.
Yeah,
you really got to keep an eye on what your kids are doing. My son's only 11 now, and I'm all up in this stuff. I look at his phone. I go in his room. I look through the drawers. I'm looking. I have no reason to suspect anything, but usually those are the sneakiest bitches out there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at everything, and you have to. You have to stay on top of it. And in this situation, a grandmother most likely where's the parents. There's some sort of situation there. She's too old to handle it. She did the right thing.
Yeah. Marco Rubio gave a speech on the Senate floor yesterday and said we could pass new gun laws, but they wouldn't stop shootings from happening. Here is Marco Rubio speaking about that.
You could pass a law that makes it hard to get this kind of gun in a new condition, but you're going to struggle to keep it out of the hands of someone who's decided that's what they want to use, because there's so many of them out there already that would be grandfathered in. You can do a background check. The truth is, in almost all these cases I cited, the individual either erroneously passed a background check or would have passed it or did. Even if they couldn't pass the background check, then they could buy them the way MS-13 does and other gangs and other street elements do from the black market. Again, not because we shouldn't have the background check. I'm just trying to be clear and honest here. If someone's decided I'm going to commit this crime, they'll find a way to get the gun to do it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't have a law that makes it harder. It just means understand, to be honest. It isn't going to stop this from happening.
I disagree with that. It may not stop it, but it's certainly going to make you jump through more hoops. I'm going to tell you, I know I can go to Shooter's World and buy a gun. Tell me I can't because I can't pass a background check or any other reason, and then what do I do? Like now I have to go through a bunch of back channels, which may end up throwing up some flags. I might be on the dark web. Somebody gets a hold of it, sees it. I may be posting on the internet, where can I buy an AR-15? Why is this kid trying to buy an AR-15? Why wouldn't he just go to Shooter's World and buy it? Then maybe somebody's going to catch it, and there's a good chance that if I'm trying to buy it illegally, I mean, unless I'm a known drug dealer or somebody who has interaction with criminals, where, I mean, I have to tell you, I'm a pretty resourceful guy who speaks to millions of people on a daily basis. I don't think I'd really know where to go. I'd eventually find out, but I don't think I really know where to go to buy an illegal. Like, if I want to buy an illegal automatic machine gun right now, I can't just get on the air and go, anybody going to sell me an AK-47?
Right.
I have to go to some creepy people. And
possibly somebody who you ask who doesn't do it, goes to the police and say, hey, this guy's asking around and trying to
especially an 18-year-old kid.
So Marco Rubio referenced MS-13 in there. Did you see the thing about Stephen King the other day?
No.
So a guy tweeted out, Rick Wilson, who I don't know who he is, but he's verified. Rick Wilson tweeted out, you're a hell of a lot more likely to be killed in Florida by an opioid overdose than MS-13. And then Stephen King said, don't tell that to the parents of the kids who just got shot in Broward County today. I think he thinks MS-13 is a gun.
No,
He doesn't realize it's a gang. He thinks MS-13 is a type
it's
of gun.
a gang that has no problem tattooing their faces.
Yeah, so. And, of course, Jimmy Kimmel did another one of his serious monologues, better believe it, last night about Trump and all this stuff. And, yep, Jimmy's crying again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, like, understandably, it's a very sad situation and all that type of stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, get a different show. Then don't be a late night talk show host. Be a serious host. Get on a news station.
On Oprah's channel.
Do that something, whatever. But this is getting out of control.
8 now fatal school shootings we had in this country this year. Children are being murdered.
Do something now!
And we still haven't even talked about it. You still haven't done anything about it. You've literally done nothing. Actually, you've done worse than nothing. You like to say this is a mental health issue, but one of your very first acts as president...
He's speaking to Trump, by the way.
But one of your very first acts as president, Mr. Trump, was to actually roll back the regulations that were designed to keep firearms out of the hands of the mentally ill. You did that. Your party voted to repeal the mandates on coverage for mental health. So I agree this is a mental illness issue, because if you don't think we need to do something about it, you're obviously mentally ill. And
at what point did Trump say we don't have to do anything about it? You're appealing. I shouldn't even say that, because I don't think he's doing it for ratings. I just think he's so. That's the problem with people, man. You get so entrenched in your side, if you will, that you can't see the truth anymore.
Yeah.
You got algorithms. You got Facebook algorithm. They've possessed you.
Please take him off late night.
Oh, I don't care. I just don't watch it.
Yeah,
but I like Jimmy. I'm not gonna.
Stop trying.
I like him, and I think some of the stuff he does is very funny on the show. But I don't watch it. I don't watch it now. I just watch YouTube highlights.
Geraldo Rivera was on Hannity yesterday talking about the shooting at the school in Florida, and he went off on a rant out of nowhere about gun control. Here is Geraldo.
They should be at least as secure as airports. Yeah. Sean, I heard about this, taking Sol from her school to her after-school activity. My 12-year-old, there it is on the radio, another psycho-punk loser with a machine gun, an AR-15, slaughtering these innocents. It makes me sick. How did he get the gun? How did he get the $1,000 gun? How did he get all these magazines? Where was his parents? Where was his family? Where was his friends, for goodness sake? I mean, it is just absolutely outrageous. 25 of these school massacres since Columbine in 1999. When are we going to see that this is a national emergency? You want to spend $25 billion on a wall? What about spending $25 billion in making our schools secure from these savages that all they want to do is
get away from
blood and mayhem?
You can't. Well, I mean, you can. I was going to say you can't say one problem is bigger than another. Surely this is a priority, but they're two different problems. They're two different things. It's not that nobody is not doing anything about guns in school. That nobody sat back and said, "Oh, we just don't have the money for it." Sorry, but we're going to go build this wall. That's not the case. Don't bring the two of them in together. Something needs to be done, and until somebody steps up and says, "Well, we can't because we ran out of money because we're building a wall," which we are not building, by the way. Right now, the wall is not being constructed. I think that also Geraldo is speaking out of anger, like that mother did before.
Yeah. And this is unbelievable. So the shooting happens, all this stuff, and then a freshman at a South Carolina high school posted a photo of himself wearing a mask and holding what looked like an assault rifle.
Smart. This is smart.
With the caption, "Round 2 of Florida tomorrow."
Mm-hmm.
We have the picture up on Bone TV there. The ninth grader is now in custody after an alarmed parent notified authorities and sent along the Snapchat pic. Deputies descended on the home of the student, who told them the post was a joke. Law enforcement found the gun, which wound up being an airsoft rifle, and after a search of the home determined the student had no access to firearms, but he was taken into custody and is now at a juvenile facility.
Would you not beat your son's ass? I don't hit my son. I would beat his ass if he did that.
Yeah.
That's just as bad. Not just as bad as shooting up a school, but just as bad as making the real threat.
Unbelievable that he would do that. Yeah, that's just so dumb. Like, you gotta know.
Like, I hope at least my son has common sense to not think that that's a funny joke.
Yeah.
If you're listening, I would beat your ass.
If you're hoping that in 2020 Oprah will turn everything around, it's probably not going to happen.
Don't tell me, Oprah.
Here's Oprah talking about whether she's running for president.
I've never looked outside for other people to tell me when I should be making a move. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't I know? Because if God actually wanted me to run, wouldn't God kind of tell me? And I haven't heard that. I do feel that I have a responsibility as a person who has a big voice in this country to use it to promote justice and kindness and goodwill. But it never has felt to me that that was supposed to be political. And it still does not feel that to me. Mm-hmm. So I am actually humbled by the fact that people think that I could be
Save
a
us,
leader
Oprah.
of the free world.
Save us.
But it's just not in my spirit. It's not my DNA.
Not going to happen.
I'd say the more you say no means yes, Oprah.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now. But it does bother me a little bit that somebody that we may put in charge of the free world is waiting for a fictitious ghost to tell her to go do it. That does bother me.
If we learned anything from Fonzie, no means yes.
That's right.
A guy in Arkansas shoplifted about $550 worth of underwear, bras, and more different stuff from Victoria's Secrets the night before Valentine's Day. The cops are trying to track him down. He's a romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get my wife some crotchless panties for Valentine's Day, and I ain't got the money. What do you want from me?
I think he's got a few ladies that he's going around
good for him.
Give him some stuff. 4 floors of a hotel in Atlantic City had to be evacuated on Wednesday after a guy set up a meth lab in his hotel room and started a fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
If he didn't start the fire, you think you would have got away with it?
Maybe. Probably the smell would have,
Yeah.
some people would have turned him in there. 23-year-old guy in Pennsylvania got into a heated argument with his girlfriend last month while they were driving in her car, and he yanked the emergency brake while they were going about 60 miles per hour. Their car rolled and hit an embankment. She ended up in the hospital. He ended up in jail.
Oh.
Not allowed to do that. A guy in England says he was trapped in a sewer for 3 days last week. He had to walk 6 miles underground before someone finally heard him calling for help.
Like Andy Dufresne.
How do you get stuck down there, though?
Why are you down there in the first place?
Yeah, what are you doing? You're down there and then you get stuck, and probably some sort of weird sex thing, right?
Yeah.
You think?
Tunnel sex?
Yeah, sewer sex.
Bad news, Happy Meal people. By 2022, cheeseburgers won't be part of the menu for kids' meals at McDonald's. Yeah, although parents can still ask for them, so you can still ask for a cheeseburger Happy Meal. The main choices will be hamburgers and 4- and 6-piece chicken McNuggets, and the French fries sizes will be smaller. Bottled water will be added to Happy Meals later this year, and chocolate milk will come with less sugar. McDonald's also pledges to serve more fruit, vegetables, and grains, trying to be a little bit healthier. So.
I never eat fast food stuff.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll bring my kids there for a matter of convenience. And my order is chicken McNugget Happy Meal with extra fries. Mm-hmm. And apple juice.
Okay,
that's
what
thing.
you eat?
No, that's what my daughter eats.
Oh, okay.
And and then she's good to go through 2 nuggets out of the 6. Then
so you get 4.
That's the hard part. You don't want McDonald's till you smell McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
And then she'll just really wants a toy. Yeah. To be honest with you, the smartest thing McDonald's ever did was put a toy in there.
Yeah,
that's all she wants is a toy.
Yeah.
Taco Bell's not bad. They got those protein bowls you can get where it's just like lettuce, chicken,
they
tomatoes.
Have, what is that menu called?
The Fresco?
No, it's like called a power menu or something, whatever, where they have some of that stuff.
I'm such a fatty. I've Uber Eats Taco Bell 2 weekends in a row.
Wow.
Like midnight, yeah.
Good for you.
It's so good.
So you know the song Moon River, right?
Moon River. And why do we know that?
Very famously
What
done,
movie?
Fletch.
Thank you.
Yeah, but also very
Use Noel Fist, Doc?
famously done in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Audrey Hepburn.
Never saw it.
She sang it. What?
But he's never seen that.
Oh, man.
Oh, beautiful.
Wider than a mountain.
Right, Spanish? Beautiful.
That is beautiful, yeah.
You also have, of course, Frank Sinatra does it wonderfully.
God, he's fantastic.
than a mile.
That's the goat right there.
Sounds great, right?
I'm crossing you in style.
Well, Frank Ocean did a remake of it.
The gay rapper?
I don't know. Is he gay? I don't know.
Bisexual.
Okay. He did a remake of it. That's a girl, and then he comes in.
Wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style. Someday, make up my heart. Break up wherever you're going.
Open your mouth!
What is happening?
It's mumble rapping. I'll tell you, I don't hate it.
No,
I wouldn't listen to it, but I wouldn't listen to anybody's version of Moon River.
It's not Frank Sinatra's.
Someday.
Frank Sinatra could sing from the phone book. Aardvark, avalanche, baby. I'd listen to anything Sinatra sang.
By the way, that's a dictionary, not a phone book.
No, it was in order. The Aardvarks lived next door to the Avalanche.
Terry Aardvark.
Yes. You don't know the Avalanche family?
Brad Avalanche and Jim Baby.
Baby is such a good guy.
Yeah. Comic Colin Quinn has postponed his concert on Saturday at the Capitol Theater in
Now
Clearwater.
listen, I heard that tickets were not selling very well and assumed that that's why it was canceled.
He has a valid reason why he canceled.
On Valentine's Day.
He suffered a heart attack on Valentine's Day.
Figures.
Quinn, who is 58, appears to be on the mend, though. He's tweeting regularly, so it seems like he'll be back soon. No date has been announced for the new show, but previously purchased tickets will be honored at the time of the new show. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, Colin.
Thank you,
I hope
Colin.
you get better. Yeah.
My heart. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Amy Schumer married chef Chris Fisher in a secret ceremony on Tuesday after just a few months of dating. We have a picture of the couple up there on Bone TV. The two are married at a house in Malibu, California, in front of 80 friends, including stars Larry David, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lawrence, David Spade, Jake Gyllenhaal, a few others. Schumer confirmed her nuptials after news broke, posting a wedding photo on Instagram and simply writing, "Yup."
That's what she did. That's how I saw it.
Yup. Got married.
Yep.
And speaking of Jennifer Aniston, her and her husband Justin Theroux have separated. All signs point to divorce. The couple issued a statement saying that they are separating. According to the statement, they made a mutual decision at the end of 2017 to split. The statement reads, quote, "We are two best friends who have decided to part ways as a couple, but look forward to continuing our cherished friendship."
2 down, Jen. 2 down.
Yeah, there's something going on.
You hear
I
the
agree with
conspiracy
Mike.
now? She's getting back with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No way.
Yeah, Brad's too hot now.
Yeah. He's always been too hot.
Yeah, it's a sliding scale. Oh, look at her there. She looks good there.
Yeah, she does.
What is that, the stupid Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does nothing for me. I'm going to be honest with you. I look at that as nothing for me.
Really?
What?
One time I thought she was hot. The breakup is the only time I ever thought she was hot.
She was super hot in the breakup.
I hate her in this movie. I just never... I would have taken Courtney Cox over her and Friends.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I like Phoebe the most.
Oh!
That's how my
Yeah.
friends were. They were
I
like
like
Phoebe.
Phoebe, yeah.
I'd have banged Joey before Phoebe.
Yeah.
Oh, Joey's pretty cute too, though.
Ross.
Hi. I'd have banged that monkey. Marcel.
Yeah. There is a 33-year-old guy in London named Willem Pug. And when he was in his 20s, he worked at a life insurance place. He was a salesman, and he packed on about 100 pounds. Ooh. Then, almost a decade ago, he decided he wanted to get healthy. So he started working out and eating better and lost about 100 pounds. Grew a hipster beard, and all of a sudden... he's looking much better. I'm going to show you the picture of him first when he was working as an insurance salesman. Joey, show that one where he's kind of the schlub guy. Look at him there. Yeah. He's kind of a, guy with glasses and
tooths.
Yeah.
He's
So you want to take a look at him now, what he looks like?
Yeah.
Because he's modeling now.
Oh, is he?
And this is what he looks like
Modeling?
now. Yeah.
Who?
Oh!
What?
There
He is hot now.
Yeah, he's super handsome. He actually became a male model, and he's done so well that he's modeled for GQ, Diesel, and David Beckham's grooming products, Brand House 99.
He's got fantastic hair.
Yeah, he does. And a fantastic beard.
Yeah. Right? Lose some
I
weight,
Man, look at
grow
that
a
ginger.
beard, get a cool hair. Like, look at that guy.
Yeah.
If you ran into that guy 2 years later and there'd be like, there's no way
Yeah.
wouldn't recognize
we work
him.
together at the insurance company.
Right? Well, who is this guy?
Very handsome.
Holy.
Wow.
I bet you still have messed up teeth, though.
Oh, yeah, and no soul because he's a ginger.
Maybe. He may have fixed his teeth, though. He may have got some modeling money.
Modeling money, yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to fix these chiclets and
Can't
get it
fix
going.
the soul thing.
So, you know, the Karate Kid.
I'm familiar with him
Which
and
one?
the movies.
Yeah, the movies, Karate Kid. You know, the bad guys were Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
You say bad, I say misunderstood.
Well, in the movies. YouTube is about to bring back the Karate Kid in a new web series starring Ralph Macchio and William Zebka, who played Johnny in the original. 30 years later,
what a crappy agent he is.
they still have a beef. We have a
Still
trailer.
By the way, Johnny was a great bad guy because he was in great shape. He was a cool kid in high school. Now he's like a fat old man.
He was 28 in high school. No, he's not fat.
Like chubby face.
No, he's not.
I saw a picture of them over the weekend where they did a show together. They did like a comic book show together.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way he
All
looked.
right, well, here is the trailer for the new YouTube Karate Kid.
All right. In a world.
Fighting positions. I just don't know why you'd ever want to bring back Cobra Kai. You're not trained to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak. You may know the moves, but none of that matters unless you have balance. Are you ready to learn the way of the fist? Yes, Sensei! Johnny, you and I, we aren't done.
I tell you, that looks friggin' awesome. That looks friggin' awesome.
That looks so hokey and ridiculous.
Galvin, by the way, you're right. In there, he looks like he's in great shape. The picture I saw this week, he looked like a fat old man, but he looks great there.
Yeah.
Listen, that looks great. What is the story? Is it going to be kids fighting in there like the teachers? Is Daniel-san now Miyagi-san?
It looks like they have a tournament going on. I love whenever they paint the Cobra Kai, the No Mercy, and they take the thing off there. I don't know exactly what the plot of it is, but it says 30 years later, they still have a
I'm
beef.
down.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
I will watch the hell out of that.
You can watch that on YouTube.
No, that's stupid.
We had talked about this.
Stupid because you're an idiot.
Man, no, it just looks
stupid
like
because your Karate Kid is Will Smith's.
Yeah.
No, I know. My Karate Kid's Ralph Macchio. I've seen him. And Hilary Swank.
Nope. There's one Karate Kid. His name is Ralph Macchio.
Oh, man.
Damn right.
A.K.A. Danny LaRusso. Yeah.
Danny LaRusso's going to fight?
That's what it's all about, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this a little bit earlier this week. The Smashing Pumpkins officially now have announced their reunion tour. They announced it yesterday, but it's not a full reunion. It is singer Billy Corrigan, James Iha, and drummer Jimmy Chamberlain will not be joined by bassist Darcy Retzky. Why?
Because her face is so messed up.
Well, it depends on who you ask. They say they couldn't get a hold of her. She said they never asked, all that stuff. But the Smashing Pumpkins will be right here in Tampa at the Amalie Arena on July 25th, which is a Wednesday.
Not going. If it's a Wednesday, I'm not going.
Yeah. No, Darcy, you're not going either.
Yeah, of course.
If it's not the whole band, I'm out. I have to tell you, the only reason I wouldn't go is because it's a Wednesday, but I would like to see them, I think.
Oh, yeah, I love Smashing
Much rather see them in a smaller venue.
Yeah.
But, I would go. They'll probably be with another good band.
I wonder who they have with them. Is it going to be a band that was big when they were big?
No.
Is it going to be a newer band?
Newer band that nobody's ever heard of.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Uncle Fester handpicks.
Something weird.
Uncle Fester.
He looks just like Uncle Fester. When
See?
Galvin pointed out when he wears a turtleneck, I'll shove a light bulb right in his mouth.
To me, he looks like a fat vampire.
Yeah, like
know?
Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
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 Finally, in news, the website ranker.com had more than 18,000 people vote on the best sodas of all time. What do you think they are? I have the top 10 here. Best sodas.
Well, I don't know. Let me ask you some questions here. Are we talking about like just 7-Up and Coke? Or are we talking about cream soda, cherry soda, and that kind of
Good
stuff?
question.
It has different stuff. There are different ones, but they're all pretty popular brands.
Take some Doc Brown black cherry soda. Delish.
No, they're what's most popular. Like, what do people like
Diet
the most?
Coca-Cola, obviously, right?
Coca-Cola number 1.
Yeah.
Diet Coke number 2.
No, Diet Coke was the highest ranked diet soda, but it only came in 29th place.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, number 2.
Yeah. 1 and 2, baby.
Dr.
Orange
Pepper.
Crush. Orange Crush, yes, they are. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Orange Crush came in number 7.
Fanta on there? Is that basically same as orange?
No, but there is another orange.
Sunkist.
Sunkist orange is on there.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a Sunkist
Number
somewhere?
9. Any Chinese restaurant?
Yeah.
The kid doing homework hands it to you?
Verner's?
No.
Oh.
Think popular.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew came in at number 5.
Pepsi.
Pepsi didn't even make the top 10.
What?
How do you like that?
You people are too prejudiced agaget Pepsi.
That sucks.
Pepsi tastes almost like Coke.
No, it doesn't.
It's totally different. Yeah, you're right.
It is more sugar.
Yeah.
Not bad. I don't drink soda.
Top 10 are Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Sprite.
Sprite. Forgot about
that.
You don't like Sprite?
A&W Root Beer, Mountain Dew, 7-Up, Orange Crush, Cherry Coke.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that
Sunkist Orange, and Barks Root Beer.
Oh, I do like some Barks.
Yeah, so Diet Coke came in 29th. Diet Pepsi came in 64th.
Boo, Pepsi, boo.
Yeah, boo. Michael Jackson set your hair on fire.
I hate root beer, by the way.
I can't remember the last time I had a Diet Pepsi friend. Well, if you go like to Hooters or something, they carry Pepsi products, so maybe there. But when's the last time I cracked open a can of Diet Pepsi?
I can't remember. I think the last time I had soda was probably 2 or 3 years ago when I started the diet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink soda. I have had that Zevia, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Every once in a while, you want a
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Something. That is it for news.
All right, 727-579-1025 or 800-771-1025. Let me grab a couple of these folks that have been holding, and then I'll clear the phone lines. And I could talk, listen, we can all talk all day about guns and school safety, and I think at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We all want safety for our kids, no matter what side you are on the gun debate, or a Republican or Democrat. You hate Trump, you love him. We all want the kids to be safe. We make that our priority, and we get stuff done. That's how this system should work. Jimmy, good morning. Go ahead. You're on the Mike Calta Show.
Hey, good morning, Mike. Yeah, I mean, there's one more common thread between this thing besides just the guns. It's the kids. I think they're starting to get really kind of losing their self-worth. I mean, the Common Core thing is pushing a lot of these kids. The better ones move to the front. The other ones feel as if their self-worth is waning.
You bring up a great point. And I, when we were kids, like, I always thought I was great when I was a kid because your parents make you feel great. And then if you don't have good parents, that's or worse, if you have a one-parent family and the other parent's trying so hard to keep you guys afloat that they don't have time to constantly reassure you that you are worthy, which makes it very difficult. You're right. And this kid is a perfect example of that. His parents have all died on him. And when you're at that age, you feel like, hey, what do I have to live for?
I'm a father of an 8-year-old, and I see them struggling with, and the teachers are the same feeling of it. I mean, some of these kids feel as if they just can't do it. It's too difficult. It's too hard. It's a problem that they're trying to do, and you have to be able to talk them through it. If they don't have somebody to back them up, they're going to start feeling that all the way through everything that goes on in their life, and they're going to strike out, and they're going to do things that aren't normal to society.
You're absolutely right, sir.
And if you back it up 8 years, 10 years ago when it started, it's about the time period that all this has started. These kids are just being pushed too hard. They're not allowed to be kids. They have to be competitive with the rest of the world, and I just don't think it's fair to them.
I agree with you. You bring up a great point, man. Thank you for the call. I don't expect anyone to raise their children in the style that I do. I don't even know what I'm doing. I've only been doing this for 11 years, and I still realize I make mistakes every day as far as being a father. But I remember that my mom worked 2 jobs. My mom worked in New York City, which added 4 hours of travel every day to her schedule. She worked hard to put us in private school and do the right things for us. So she probably wasn't as attentive as she could be to my schoolwork, and I didn't care. But as most kids do, I didn't care. I got through it. I was a very happy C- student, and I didn't care. And my mother really didn't push me because as long as I was advancing grades, that's really what parents care about. All right, good, you got through another one. And I also didn't feel that horrendous pressure that guy is speaking to be the A student. If you have it, you have it. If you have it and you need a little work, hopefully somebody's there to give it to you. I didn't have it and I didn't want it. Galvin was sick of doing the same work in high school over and over again and got bored and quit and worked out just fine for you.
Yeah.
People will find their niche in life and their spot in place. You need to help guide them a little bit, but that tremendous pressure that you put on a kid, especially a high school kid, that sometimes could manifest itself in the worst ways. And I really think, by the way, one more thing I want to touch on, and then I got to take a break, is I'm all for a concealed weapons permit holder that's been thoroughly checked and run through the system to be able to, if you're a teacher, to be able to carry your weapon for cases just like this. And not that teacher was going to stop it from happening, but it could have stopped it from being 17 kids to 2 kids.
Yeah, good luck getting that passed.
Right. I'm telling you right now, if that was me, I would always have a gun on me. It would be a violation, and I would hide it, and hopefully nobody would ever find out. But there's no way I'm running that risk.
Oh man,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but hiding you'd have to have it on your person.
Yeah,
because hiding it
I'd have to put it on
school,
a waist.
Good luck a kid not finding that.
No, I'd have to wear it on an ankle holster or something like that and be conscious of it. But anyway, I heard several suggestions yesterday that said we need to arm our teachers. Yes, the underpaid teacher who is in debt from paying off their student loans from going to college so that they can be a teacher, to make a measly salary of between $30,000 and $50,000 a year if they're a regular teacher, that has to sit there and every day deal with your snot-nosed kids that have a third of the respect that they have for you.
And have to buy supplies for their classroom out of their own pocket.
Underfunded, underappreciated, getting Yankee candles from your parents for Christmas. Now we're going to tell them, oh, by the way, on Saturday you got to come in for weapons training. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. We got Daytona 500 tickets. We're going to give them away this hour. Stand by.
The Mike Calta Show on 102.5 The Bone. Now, another traffic